everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of The Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Xbox confirms, or more games than we can fit in onto one direct. Xbox confirms first showcase of 2026 is bursting at the seams. We're going to talk about Call of Duty. Rumor leaks suggest that Call of Duty 2026 may repeat Modern Warfare 2's mistake. We're going to watch a video from Marathon, from Bungie, from the developers of Marathon, Vision of Marathon, Bungie ViDoc. And then we have other small little stories here and there. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Just get you through a couple hours of your day. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. What's going on, chat? Sorry about yesterday. The farm gods had other plans for me yesterday, so I'll tell you a little story about that in just a second. Good morning, Michelle, little beastie. What's going on, Krabby Patty? What's going on? Good morning, Altern. Charles Hawk. Good morning. Who am I missing here? Roic. Good morning. Astraf. Good morning. Kylo. Good morning. Sarge. Good morning. Water Bear. Good morning. Mr. Z. What's going on? Jesse Mack. Good morning, everybody. So yesterday, I was going to have a stream, but so was it Monday night, Tuesday morning, around 1 o'clock in the morning? I'm still up. My dog's barking like crazy, right? So I told the story a little bit yesterday, but if you watched the stream last night, so I went out at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking, right? I'm looking out in the field. I'm looking to see, because there's either a coyote, some wild animal or whatever, or the cows are doing something, right? So I looked at 1 o'clock in the morning, didn't see anything. My dog's freaking out. And I was like, all right, Thor, you have a good night. I was like, let me know anything goes wrong, right? So I'm looking. I was out there for 10 minutes looking. Didn't see anything wrong, right? Little did I know, it already started. Okay. So I went to bed. It was like 1:15, 1:20 or something like that. So I laid down. And then all of a sudden I get woken up around 3:30, 4 o'clock. My wife says something to me, she said I didn't budge. Right. So I was just like, all right, whatever. Right. Then she woke me up at 5:20 in the morning and said that our water pump, or like our well, is like broke and it's shooting water up in the air. And I'm like, okay. So I went from dead sleep to out in the middle of the night, 47 degrees outside. I'm a little cold, right? I don't do well in the cold. So it's 47 degrees, water shooting everywhere. And I'm like, I don't want to get wet. Right? I was like, I don't want to get wet. What's going on, Eclipse? What's going on, PS5? Jason, Ron. And I'm like, all right. So I just had an umbrella with me. I was trying to like block the water to get to the main valve, whatever. It's like a fire hose, just water just shooting everywhere. Again, 5:20 in the morning. And I get to it and I shut it off and I look at the pipe and I'm like, it snapped, right? Now, those of you, right? Those of you that mess with pipes and stuff like that, PVC pipes just don't snap, right? They don't snap. There's a leak, it might blow and like blow off one or whatever, right? But they just don't snap. So I lay down in bed. I'm freezing cold, right? I dry it off. I'm laying in bed and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why did the pipe break like that? Right? I'm not even thinking about fixing it, right? I'm like, how did it snap? So I'm laying there for the next hour, right? Then I gotta get up because, get the kid ready for school and whatnot. I go outside, and then all of a sudden my wife goes, the cows are out. And I'm like, oh. I was like, the cows broke it. And she's like, what? I'm like, the cows broke the pipe. And she's like, what do you mean? They're on the road over here. And I went, hold on a second. So I go look. Let me see if I can bring this up for you guys. Right? Let me show you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I got to scroll to the last day. But this is what happened shortly after I went to bed. Right? It was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to show you a still image. Let's see. That's at 7. Okay. So around, here we go. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but if I'll hit play so you can see. I got cows walking around my house, meaning they're not in their pen. So I was like, oh, they got out. So then I watched all the camera angles. It was like a reality show. I watched all the camera angles. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, so they got out. So now I had to figure out where they broke out of, right? Now I got to figure out where they broke out of, then where they went. So apparently one of the neighbors said that they were on the street at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning. They were just on the street down the road, just laying in the middle of the street. So thank God car accident didn't happen. Someone coming down the road, right? Then they moved off to the side of the street. Then they got bored. Then they came over to the property, over by the house. And my dog, who is outside, chased them around. And then because they all huddled up, they ran through and they busted my well, right? So I was like, makes sense. So then I had to get the cows back in, and then we had to fix the pipe. And so that is why I didn't have a show yesterday morning, because we had a cow breakout. So you're the crazy Florida guy. I was a Florida guy. Yeah, I was the Florida man for that night. Yeah, so that is the reason I didn't have a show yesterday. And then this morning, my son tells me yesterday that one of his teachers, right, has her birthday's coming up, right? And because we have a farm store and stuff like that, we usually give gifts to the teachers and stuff to say thank you and whatnot. So we gave eggs and jam that we make here and stuff like that. And he was supposed to bring that to school today. So we put the bag next to his book bag. So when you're a kid, you're like, hey, I'm going to pick up my bag and this bag that I told my parents that I needed, and then we're going to go to school, right? So this morning was the first time in 3 years that we left the house on time. My son's always like running late, okay, which kills me from the inside, okay? So he grabs his book bag, right? Because I'm not responsible for his stuff. So he grabbed his book bag, but didn't grab the bag. Okay. So we're in the car, we're driving to school. And because there's a sinkhole that was formed about a month ago, one of the roads is closed. So you have to go the long way around. So it takes like 20 minutes instead of 5 minutes to get to school now. Okay. So we drive to school. We pull up the car line. Okay. He gets out of the car. And as he opens the door, it says, "Where's the bag?" And I'm like, "What bag?" He's like, the bag I'm supposed to give to my teacher. I was like, "It was next to your book bag." "No, it wasn't." I was like, took a deep breath. Those of you that are parents, I took a deep breath and I was like, "Bro, it was literally right next to your bag." "No, it wasn't." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I'll go pick it up." So this morning, where I was on time for the first time, early actually, for the first time, right? Yeah, cue the tears, right? So I had to then take another 20-minute trip back home to then pick up the bag right where it was, to then go another 20 minutes to go bring it back to school, okay? Which then took me another 20 minutes to get back home. So something that was early today gave me an extra 40 minutes of travel time. Loved it. Loved it. So there's my morning for you. There's my parent stories for the morning for you guys. Now we'll get to the news. like what in the world? What in the world? What's going on, Bat? Good morning, Aku. Eclipse, what's going on? Roadkill, Drummond, what's going on? Do you have the heat on in your room? I hope you're not cold now. No. I don't have the heat on now. No, it's like 67 degrees. In my house, it's like 72 degrees. Sometimes it's a bit chilly. the house is built in 1942, so it doesn't retain the heat as modern day homes. But Aku says, "Kids, am I right? You don't even have kids, Aku." Dolphin says, "Did you grab it?" No, I didn't see it. Yeah, it's literally like if this was his bag, Dolphin, or this is his school bag. This is the bag he was supposed to take. It was like you can't get any closer. You can't get any closer to the bag. Mr. Z says, "Sounds like me in San Diego, 30 minutes to school and 20 minutes of work, and then repeat at the end of the day." Yeah, but it's so stupid because it was to bring a bag, right? Mind you, to be nice, give them a gift. And then my son forgets it, and it costs me an additional, 40 minutes of my travel time. Exactly. It's exactly. But Dad, I need the bag. I didn't see it. Yeah, that's what happened this morning. So, all right. Speaking of bags and things that we haven't seen, sounds like it sounds like Xbox has got some. Yeah, Z says, "Me, no teacher gift that year. It was for her birthday. And she's going out of town. She's not here tomorrow. Otherwise, I would have brought it tomorrow." It's a whole bunch of things. Okay. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We just go over a couple of news stories each and every single day. And then I give you my thoughts and opinions on the news story as I read it for the first time on stream. Okay, I didn't read these ahead of time. I don't watch the stuff. I don't read the stuff ahead of time. I see the article. You guys submit the stories. I go, you know what? That looks like a good story to talk about. And then I bring it up on the stream. So if you like it, like I said, hit that like button. We get your thoughts and opinions afterwards as well. So 2026, it says more games than we can fit into one direct. Xbox confirms the first showcase of 2026 is bursting at the seams. It's bursting, chat. Bursting at the seams. Can I get rid of those ads? I can. Okay. So another Xbox Developer Direct is planned for January. A senior Microsoft official has confirmed, in addition to name dropping one of the studios that will be featured at the event, the upcoming live stream will mark the first Xbox showcase of 2026. Okay. The first Xbox Developer Direct was held in early 2023. Since then, Microsoft turned into the annual event that always takes place in January, offering a preview of various first, second, and third-party Xbox games at nearly completion. That trend is now set to continue for the fourth consecutive year. So the fourth Xbox Developer Direct confirmed for January 2026. In a recent interview, the Variety of head of Microsoft Studio, Matt Booty, confirmed that the company has another Xbox Developer Direct planned for January 2026, as was the case for the first three editions of the show. The event will also be focused on previewing various Xbox titles set to be released over the course of the year ahead. However, circumstances are slightly different this time around, as Microsoft is dealing with a good problem to have. This year, we've got more stuff coming up that we can fit into one Dev Direct show, Booty explained, suggesting that the Xbox generational run of games is set to continue in 2026. Okay. It says, aside from sharing the big 2026 content promise, the Microsoft executive has also revealed one of the studios that will also be featured during the January showcase, Playground Games. Even the event focus on soon-to-be-released titles suggests that the next Xbox Developer Direct will feature Fable, Forza Horizon 6, or both. Fable was delayed to 2026 this February, whereas Forza Horizon 6 was announced in 2026. How many times is this thing going to pop up over here? Both Fable was delayed. Okay, only one appears at the showcase. The new Forza Horizon title seems to be more likely candidate, as of already rumored for the first half of 2026, where there's no word on specific launch window for Fable Reboot. Okay, so it says the past two iterations of the Xbox Developer Direct were held preemptively Thursday on January. If it's also the pattern holds up, on January 2026 showcase will take place on January 22nd. In that case, Microsoft would be expected to officially announce the showcase with a concrete date between January 8th and January 13th, based on the typical communication cadence. The announcement may also include confirmation of one of the games that also will feature at the event, which is in the case of previous years. Most of, if not all, titles that will be shown in 2026 Developer Direct are likely to be day one Xbox Game Pass releases. Well, of course, right? Microsoft has no shortage of candidates to showcase at the next Xbox event. Okay. While the first 3 Xbox Developer Directs featured plenty of games from Microsoft-owned studio, the third-party titles have also regularly appeared in annual event, ranging from smaller indies to more ambitious projects, for instance. One of the highlights for Xbox Developer Direct 2025 was release date announcement of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which turned out to be the most critically acclaimed, commercially successful, universally beloved game of the year. The same event featured the reveal of Ninja Gaiden 4, while also previous 2 editions showcase everything from Visions of Mana, The History Untold, indicated that in 2026, Developer Direct may also offer notable content variety. So here's some things that they have, right? Maybe they show. Okay, first announced back in 2018. Okay, 2018, Elder Scrolls 6 was not released or talked about since then, by the way. Project Mara, Ninja Theory, was announced first trailer in January 2020. Still having no release date for that. State of Decay 3 was Undone Labs, was also released or first showed in July of 2020, and they still have no release date for that. Fable Playground Games was first showed in 2020, which is 5 years ago, and yet supposedly 2026 release. Clockwork Revolution was also showed in June of 2023. It's also rumored to be shown again. Marvel Blade was also Marvel Blade Arcane Lion, December of 2023. We don't know any date yet for that. OD Kojima Productions was in 2023. We still have no thing on that. Gears of War E-Day was shown in June of 2024. Release date in 2026. And Forza Horizon 6 on September of 2025. And we do know it's coming out in 2026. So looking for the slate of high-profile first, the second-party Xbox currently in development. Several titles appear in the strong candidates for January showcase. In addition to Fable, Forza Horizon 6, which is Booty himself has hinted that Clockwork Revolution, the Coalition Gears of War E-Day are both expected to launch in 2026. And the new Gears of War entry has already been officially confirmed for the release window. Okay. So here's my thing. If they don't show Fable, Fable right now, okay, regardless if you're excited for it or not excited for it, holy Christ with these ads, huh? You know what? Can I turn that on? Yeah. Okay. If they don't show something about Fable, okay, in the showcase for 2026, right? Because remember, it was supposed to come out in 2024, then it got pushed to 2025, then or rumored it got pushed to 2025, and now it's rumored it's being pushed to 2026. AAA studios, okay, need to get with the program. Okay, get with the program. Okay, first, don't show anything until you know for concrete evidence that you're going to be able to put the game out. Okay, now I know in the beginning of the article it talks about how at the direct, it's usually games that are coming out in the following year. They've done this in the past, and that game that they show at some of their events are supposed to happen in the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, and they don't. They just get pushed back further and further, right? When you look at the industry right now, real quick, JW says, whoa, 28-month time files when you're also having fun, or flies when you're having fun. Hope all is well with 30. Have a great holiday, New Year, and appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the 28 months. Appreciate that. Right? So, the AAA games, right? You look at what's happening in the Game Awards. What you think about the Game Awards or not, if you care personally about it or not, doesn't really matter. The industry looks at that as a big sign, okay? The indie games have took the Game Awards by storm. Lots of independent developers won a lot of awards, including Expedition 33, okay, who pretty much almost swept the entire awards show, okay? You get Fable, you get Playground Games. They know what they're doing, right? They know what they're doing when they say, oh, yeah, Playground Games is going to be showing something, right? And obviously, we already know about Forza Horizon 6, so maybe they show that, right? Maybe they show that. Maybe they show Fable, but if they don't show Fable, it has to go into the banks of your brain as a gamer and going, I don't know about this game, man. Right? It could come out and it could be the next Cyberpunk, right? Or it could be the next Avowed. Do you know what I mean? And the likely of those two happening is probably the Avowed. Okay. Now I know someone's going to be like, well, Avowed was actually pretty good. I liked Avowed, didn't love Avowed. Okay. But what I'm saying is they're building up the hype of these things. And yet just another year, 5 years, 6 years, right? Elder Scrolls has been 6 years since we've seen anything. 7 years since we've seen anything. Okay. Fable, been 4 years, 5 years. Haven't seen anything. So the longer they keep dragging this out and keep using it as a, oh, we'll tune in to the next direct because you could see the game that you want to see, you're hurting the game even further and further. It's almost better that you don't know anything about Elder Scrolls 6, right? Because we haven't seen anything about Elder Scrolls 6. We've seen nothing about Elder Scrolls 6. So yeah, it's been 7 years, but we've seen nothing. Fable, we've seen multiple things about Fable, and yet State of Decay is also in the same situation, right? You saw things about State of Decay 3, and yet we haven't seen anything about it. And it hurts. It hurts. Okay? Yeah, there was gameplay, Mo. That's exactly right. What I'm saying is, if you're going to show stuff, then make sure it's coming out within the cycle. Okay? Don't just keep teasing us over and over and over. You get blue balls at that point, and it hurts the game's brand. It hurts the actual thing. They're not going to care. Less and less people care over time. This is why you shouldn't show anything or talk about anything unless it's ready. Okay? I will stand by that all the time, right? Indie developers are under budget, and they come out. AAA studios are over budget, way over budget, and they keep teasing stuff, right? It's like back in the, I guess it would be like the 40s, right? In the 1940s, like when the, what do you call it? Like the dancing girls, not strippers, but you know what I'm talking about? They would have like the high stockings and they would tease you with that, right? That's what AAA games does, right? They're like teasing you with like the high fishnet guards on their legs, but they don't show anything else, right? That's what's happening. Okay. AAA game companies, burlesque, thank you. Okay. That's what they are. Indie developers show you the stuff. They show you like, here we are. This is it. Okay. And you're like, oh, this is pretty good. Right. These guys just keep. Hey guys. Here's Fable coming. Oh, we got E-Day. Oh, right. Like they just keep jangling the keys in front of you. And it just gets worse and worse every single time. It gets worse and worse. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Where do you guys stand? If they show Fable this year, Fable's got to come out this year, right? If they show Fable in January, it's got to come out within 2026. If it gets delayed again, it's a death sentence, basically. It's a death sentence. I don't care how good the game is, okay? You just keep jangling the keys and telling people, you should be excited about this game, you should be excited about this game, and then when the game comes out, it's like falls flat and makes that slapping sound on the ground when you have a soaking wet towel. It's just... right? It doesn't matter. Again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of their videos. Thanks for watching. Jason says, Blade seems to be cursed at this point. Can't get the movie made and have no clue about the game. Yeah, but even in this article, I don't think Blade's that big of a deal, right? Blade got shown off in 2023. It's been 2 years, right? Not even 2 years. Well, yeah, 2 years in December. It's been 2 years, right? Even when they first talked about it, it takes 3 to 5 years to make a video game. Meaning they're probably 2 years in the cycle of it, and they were trying to get more people to come in, right? We've talked about this in the past. They use those types of videos to get people excited or more developers. Hey, I'm interested in helping with Blade, and they come in, right? So that's only been 2 years, right? Fable's been 5 years. Been 5 years going on 6. Right? 5 years going on 6. What's going on, Ward? Good morning. Bat says, it will be the Concorde. Sarge says, what program, bro? The program is we release slop in any condition, and then you buy it full price, and then STFU. It says, yeah, let's go bring the AA and indies. Make a game, sell a game. Roic says, hope Fable is good, but with them using the racing engine, from Forza, I have my doubts. That's the first doubts that we had when they first announced it. I was like, I don't know about Playground making this game. Here's the thing. I remember Phil Spencer saying we want developers to make games that they want to make. And yet Playground Games, maybe they came forward and they were like, hey, we make racing games. We would love to make an RPG, right? Like an action RPG. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll give it to you. That seems weird to me when you have other companies that can make an action RPG with inside of Microsoft itself with all the studios you own. Yet Playground Games was their choice to make the game. Now, maybe it comes out. Maybe they're trying to diverse their portfolio, right? Maybe Playground Games knocks it out of the park. But there's a lot of doubts before that happens. Mr. Z says Skyrim 6 will never live up to expectations or dreams. That's a whole nother conversation, right, Z? And we can have that right now. Expectations for Elder Scrolls 6 are as big as GTA 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, people love Skyrim so much, right? They loved Oblivion. They loved Morrowind. They loved, right? Skyrim brought the bar so much higher than all the other games, right? People loved Skyrim. Of course, there's people that have flaws and that they don't like it and stuff. But Elder Scrolls 6 is like to the moon, right? To the moon. Everyone's thinking about this game and being like, this is going to be the greatest game ever created for Elder Scrolls, right? People are excited because they don't want to play Elder Scrolls Online anymore. They just want to play Elder Scrolls 6. Some people are going, I'm just waiting for them to screw it up, right? Because they look at Bethesda, what they did with the Fallout games and what they've done with Starfield now, and they're like, ugh. Right? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that game when they finally announce it and when it comes out. It just works. 18 times the detail maybe now. Who knows? Jesse Mack says if they don't show Fable for the Xbox Showcase of 2026, it's probably got canceled. This is what I'm thinking about. I would have to say they have to show it, right? They have to show it. And if it does get canceled, what a waste. What a waste. That would prove all of us right. Jesse, I hope it's not canceled. But if it's canceled, which I hope it's not. Okay, but then again, I don't try to cash checks before, I try not to cash the checks before they arrive, right? But if it gets canceled, it'd be like, see, there's the wrong company to work for. That would prove everybody. They'd be like, see, Playground shouldn't have had it. Microsoft doesn't know what they're doing, right? That's the conversation we'll have if that happens. I don't know. I just get hyped dirt games in general, or for games in general. So I'm hyped to see more games. Yeah, I'm glad to see games, Mo, if they show games. Not trailers, games. Again, I don't cash the check before it arrives. Warbear says, Fable will be in the bid for Game of the Year with High Guard and Marathon. Dolphin says, Bethesda says, hold my beer when it comes to announcing and releasing games. Krabby says, have you seen the new Bellier News video? Apparently charging $80 for games isn't going well. I think Sarge sent it to me. I haven't seen it myself. Wait, didn't we watch? What video did we watch from Bellier? You know what? Let me go to his channel because I'll tell you if I watched it or not. No, I don't want Bellier World of Warcraft. No. No. I want Bellier News, man. Wait, why is it? Okay, there it is. Let's see. Yeah, I watched it. It was 7 days ago. Is there something different? Yeah, I watched it. I thought we watched it on stream. Game prices are collapsing. Publishers weren't wrong. That one? We literally watched that on stream. If that's what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure we watched it on stream. Most said Playground Games started, they wanted to be the best in the business, so I got faith in Playground. I like the car games, Mo. I'm a little skeptic of, like, okay, for instance, let me take an example here. If you're a person that I don't know, you're the top chef. You love cooking, right? You love cooking. But then all of a sudden you tell me, like, you're an award-winning chef, okay? But then all of a sudden you tell me that that you want to drywall. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to hire you for a drywall guy. You might know drywall, but you probably know cooking much better than drywall. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're known for racing. They make great racing games. I love Forza games. I love Playground's Forza games. But all of a sudden, now they're making an action RPG, and you're like, I have my doubts. The clip says, I would just be happy if they handmade the world of Elder Scrolls 6, but make the dungeons randomly generated. Let me see what else you guys are saying here. I want to see gameplay. Cinematic cutscenes isn't going to cut it for me at this point. Right. That's what I'm saying, Roic. Right? Showing me a cutscene is not showing me the game. Show me gameplay. You show me gameplay, right? And when you show me gameplay, make sure that thing's ready to go, not 4 years later. Let's see. Mo says, I'll be the best drywall you've ever hired, Mike. As much as I want to believe you, if you've never done it before. Hey, that's the effort. I'm not looking for effort. I'm looking to give you my money so it is the best done. Right? I hire you for a chef, but I wouldn't hire you as a drywall guy. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Z says, hey, spatula, putty knife, it's the same thing. I just wouldn't be super excited. Yeah, but Mo, you're taking something and putting it specifically for you. I understand you have construction background. What I'm saying is, if you're a master at one thing, Playground is a master at making racing games, right? They're game developers, but they're masters of making racing games. Okay? Making an action RPG is completely different than making a racing game. Just saying. Right. I don't want Tiburon Studios, okay, all of a sudden, right? They barely make Madden football every year. I don't want them to make Fable either. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? Like, I don't care that if Tiburon Studios at EA Sports wants to make a different game, cool. You're going to have to prove to me that you can make another game before I get excited about it, because I know you of making the exact same game for the last 25 years. Yeah, they've been making racing games since the original Xbox. All right, next story. Let's talk about Call of Duty. Good old Call of Duty. Okay, good old Call of Duty. Nothing beats Call of Duty. Okay, rumor leaks suggest that Call of Duty 2026 may repeat the Modern Warfare 2 mistake. I don't know what that is. You guys like what I do here? We do news stories each and every day, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. And I read the story for the first time, give you my thoughts and opinions based on the news story itself. Nothing else out there, just the story itself. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Aku says 30. I'm expecting people to get pissed. Hold on, let me bring this back up. I'm expecting people to get pissed off with GTA 6 to too high of expectations. Same with Elder Scrolls 6. The expectations are so high, people are expecting more than what Elder Scrolls is. Yeah, the expectation. This is why I love, and we've talked about this in the past, Aku. When Star Wars first came out, it was such a hit because no one had any expectations for what it was. It was groundbreaking at the time, right? Then when the next Star Wars came out, okay, which is Empire Strikes Back, which is the best Star Wars, by the way. Okay, there is no other answer to that. Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars. Okay, leave your comments to the wall down below. Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars. Okay, your expectations now that you saw Star Wars and you're a super fan of Star Wars. Okay, your expectations are extremely high. So for a sequel to come out and hit that mark is much harder than the first movie coming out to hit your expectations, right? Because you have no expectations for the first thing, right? Now, let's talk about video games. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If they kept hitting your mark, expectations get higher and higher and higher till they're unbearable, right? It's got to break at some point where it's not going to meet your expectations, right? So Grand Theft Auto 6 could have one thing that screws it up for them, right? Maybe the writing is worse. Maybe the car handling is not as good. Whatever it is, right? The expectation would be like, well, the car stuff was this good back 13 years ago. How come they didn't improve it, right? Like, the expectations go higher and higher for that. Dolphin says, you can have an opinion, but your opinion is wrong. That's right. You can say another Star Wars is the best Star Wars, but you'd be wrong. Mo says, oh yeah, but what's the name of the PlayStation? We're able to make first-person shooters, then switch to make Horizon. I feel like Fable can be made by Playground. I see what you're saying, but making a first-person shooter game and then going to a different game is different than making a car racing game and then going to an action-adventure game. And I would love to be proven wrong, right? Again, my expectations for Playground making Fable is down here. I don't have high expectations for them. I have high expectations for Fable because it's the next Fable, right? So the franchise of Fable, Mo, it needs to be above the last Fable, right? So this new Fable has to be above this Fable. So the franchise needs to be above expectations. My expectations for Playground making Fable, I have none because they haven't proved to me that they can make a game. Now, if this game comes out and Fable is good, then I'll be like, hey, look at that. Now I have a bar set for expectations. Z says, remember the devs said most of their work is training new people on the tools. Voila, Fable. There you go. Mo says, I go into every game with zero expectations because you can't be let down. That's a great way to look at stuff. But again, if you're taking a franchise, let me put it this way. If Playground Games came out with an action adventure game that was brand new, that didn't already have a brand attached to it, I would be right there with you. I would have zero expectations for Playground Games making an action adventure game. Brand new IP. But the problem is they're taking Fable and then, you see what I'm saying? They're taking a brand and then making it their own spin for the very first time, doing an action adventure game type of thing. That's the difference. Mr. G says, Mo, I would like to see anyone from the other Fable games is involved, helping them, the devs, even if they know their tools. We will see. Right. Roic says, until they show me it's something good, I can't trust it. It'll be above the last Fable because the last Fable was canceled. Well, the last Fable was a live service game, right? Wasn't that called Heroes or something? Fable Heroes? Isn't that the last Fable game that was canceled? So if that didn't exist, the last Fable game before that would be the last Fable game, and it has to beat that. Justin Dove says, I feel like after the second one of anything, expectations are never met. Yeah, it gets harder and harder. Look at Fast and Furious. What are your expectations? Pat, what's your expectations for the next Fast and Furious movie? Do you know what I mean? You had no expectations for Fast and Furious when it first came out. It was just it was a car movie. You're like, oh man, this is entertaining. Then you watch 2. Then you watch Tokyo Drift. Then you watch 4 and 5 and 6, and you're like, well, they're taking a rocket to the moon. Like, where are we going? It's a Marvel movie now with cars. Titan says, 0 expectation equates to being non-critical. Well, sure, if I close my eyes and pretend I never played any of the other games beforehand, how, let's be honest. How can I not have expectations for Fable when I've played every Fable? How am I supposed to be like, every Fable since the last Fable was up from the last one? How am I not supposed to have expectations from the last Fable to the other? Am I supposed to pretend I didn't play them? Am I supposed to pretend I'd never seen them before? Like, how am I supposed to do that? Those of you that have kids, I only have one kid, okay? Do you just pretend that you're whatever your good kid was, the next kid's better than that kid? No, you have expectations. You have one kid and you're like, well, he's a fuck up or he's not a fuck up. The next kid coming out, I hope he's better or I hope he's not worse, right? Those are your expectations regardless, right? Because you had something to compare it to. You over here telling me I'm just going blind. I don't know anything. Like, you walk around, I don't know what's behind this door, even though I walked through the door 10 times. I'm just going to pretend I have no expectations of what's out there. Go to a restaurant. Never been to this restaurant before. I hope it's good, right? But yeah, I've been to this restaurant 15 times. Well, maybe the 16th time is better than the other 15 times. Keep my expectations low. Aku says, 30, that's how I approach games. I don't have expectations except for the turn-based games. I expect them to be boring, quick, and I'm always right. Starts with the new Fast and Furious is Vin Diesel versus the Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Who you answer that to, Travis? Only you're never right? Is that to me? Man, I could bring up a bunch of different stuff of me being right. I don't think that's to me though. People are losing their mind because of Larian. That's because people don't understand. First of all, the people that are losing their minds on AI are the people that don't understand what AI is. They just know the word AI. They're like, bad. They have no idea. All right. Let's go to this one. Okay. So a rumor leak suggests that Call of Duty 2026 may repeat Modern Warfare 2's mistake. Okay, if you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So 2026 Call of Duty game, believed to be called Modern Warfare 4, will reportedly have multiplayer that's largely identical to 2022's Modern Warfare 2, according to well-known leaker. Some longtime fans may find the claim discouraging, not least because Modern Warfare 2 had one of the most polarizing multiplayer modes in recent Call of Duty history. Every time Activision releases another entry into the long-running first-person shooter series, Call of Duty fans scrutinize things like Time to Kill. That's because they have expectations. They're like, well, the last Call of Duty game had really shitty TTK. So maybe the next Call of Duty will have better TTK. And they're like, no, it doesn't. They're like, these people are scrutinizing something. Okay. The movement, the visibility, and other aspects of the game are directly impacted the overall multiplayer experience. Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare 2 drew criticism from longtime players for its sluggish movement, short TTK, which together fostered a unusual competitive meta where jump shots became nearly an essential. Okay. So 2026 Modern Warfare 4 is basically Modern Warfare 2.20 or Modern Warfare 2 2.0, leaker claims. Okay, so Modern Warfare 4 multiplayer is in current state of currently a complete copy of Modern Warfare 2, except no perk charging system, and less ADS slide penalties. That's because minimal viable product. They look at Modern Warfare 2 and say, it sold this many, and this is what the game was. Well, what do we do for the next one? Well, we do the exact same. That's it. We do the exact same. We don't change anything. It is what it is. We just slap Modern Warfare on there. Boom. Better game. Because it's the next game. Good morning, Fire Gaming. Okay. The 2022 game's design philosophy is now set to return next year, according to Twitter user The Ghost of Hope, whose substantial track record for credible Call of Duty leaks taking to Twitter mid-December of 2025. The Insider reported that Modern Warfare 4's multiplayer is almost a complete copy of Modern Warfare 2, except that the ADS and the slide penalties aren't as harsh and the perks don't have to be charged up. When I tell you that Call of Duty is the Madden football of first-person shooters, this should tell you exactly what it is. Right here. Okay? When they take Madden football, what's going on, Sweat Dog? When they take the Madden football and they're like, we got the juke stick back in the game, we got the cone of vision. They're like, oh, it's been out of the game. They pretend it's new, even though it was in the system before. Modern, like Call of Duty's modern Call of Duty, that's all they do. They're like, it's the same thing, but now it's tweaked just a smidgen. It's like a patch. It's not a new game. It's a patch, basically. Okay. So with Modern Warfare 4 being expected to hit the market in late 2026, the likelihood of its developer implementing a radical design changes in the remaining 11 months appears slim. Okay, I want you to remember this, guys, because this game is made every year. Every year. So when a company comes out, any other company comes out, and they delay their game by 3 months, everyone's like, oh, they're going to make big changes. They're saying right here, radical design changes in the remaining 11 months, they have 11 months, is not going to happen. And people think a studio like Assassin's Creed, where they had 5 extra months, they were going to change dramatically. No. Okay. The game is reportedly in works at Infinity War and primary developer behind Modern Warfare 2, although in 2022 installment had a strong launch, generating over $1 billion in sales within 10 days. It's also recorded the weakest player retention amongst all modern Call of Duty titles. This doesn't matter. You understand that? Generating over $1 billion in 10 days and record weakest player retention, they already got your money. They don't give a fuck. $1 billion, 10 days, smallest retention. Thank you very much. They got what they wanted. They got $1 billion in 10 days. Okay. Reportedly losing half of its PC player base after the first month. The sharp drop may be attributed to complaints about the game's multiplayer. Okay. Many longtime fans took the issue with Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer for a variety of reasons, though a large share of complaints centered on the game's movement, which was slower compared to the most entries in the series. While they reduced the movement speed, made the game more accessible by narrowing the traversal gap between newcomers and competitive players, some of Call of Duty veterans criticized the change, arguing that the lower the game's traditional skill ceiling. The Modern Warfare 2 minimap also drew complaints of the omitting the red dots indicated unsuppressed gunfire. This was a design shift intended to promote sound-based tracking that in turn significantly altered the game's pacing. Visibility issues were also further compound and pronounced muzzle flashes, intense visual recoil effects, which often made it easier to lose track of targets after firing. Call of Duty is reportedly finally dropping the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2026. The latest batch of Ghost Hope's Modern Warfare 4 Insight has also included a tidbit about the game's supposed target platform, with the leaker claiming the shooter won't be available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, with both console now over 12 years old. There's a widespread expectation amongst fans, and the series will drop support for them sooner rather than later. Well, I like to make a little asterisk here for you guys. These are my thoughts, so you guys let me know yours in the comment section down below. Even though Ghost of Hope is pretty solid on all these things, when he comes out with leaks and rumors and stuff like that, and they say they're dropping the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I'm going to say they're not going to drop it. I'm going to say they're not going to drop it. Do you guys think they're going to drop it? Here's the reason I think they're not going to drop it. Okay? Because Call of Duty was on multiple platforms. The latest one. Okay? It was on PlayStation 4, right? It was on Xbox One. It's on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X. It's on PC. Okay? I don't think the sales numbers were as great. I think they still sold 12 to 15 million copies of this Call of Duty, okay, when it's all said and done. But they'll look at this and say, well, I think we keep it on for one more year, right? Because they needed as many sales as possible because the sales were low. Now, them saying this is before, I'm assuming the leak came out before what the sales and stuff are for Call of Duty or before Call of Duty, right? He's just reporting on it now or got his hands on it now. If the sales were fantastic, maybe they are. Maybe the sales for this one are like 17, 18, 20 million, and they see the sales overall. Maybe it's 15 million, and it was 15 million without the older systems. Because the older systems, percentage-wise, is super down, they're like, you know what? We can just drop the old system and just worry about the new systems now. You know what I'm saying? If the leak is out now that they're dropping PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is because if the sales are 12 to 15 million, okay, again, based on percentages of the older Call of Duties on just PlayStation alone, okay, they might drop PlayStation 4 because they know that less people are playing on the PlayStation 4 and enough people are playing over here and they're satisfied with that number. But they might not. So it's two ways. They either drop it because there's enough people now that moved over from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 and Xbox One to Xbox Series S and X, so they can drop the old system, or it was bad sales and they're going to let it stay on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for one more year because just they need those extra numbers. It says Modern Warfare 4 may also be released on the Switch 2, which would align to Microsoft's February 2023 comment to bring 10 years worth of Call of Duty titles to Nintendo consoles. The Ghost of Hope references the agreement on December 13th, tweeting, talking about Modern Warfare 4's target platform, saying that the Switch 2 will be involved at some point. Well, there you go. Even from that, maybe they dropped 4 and Xbox One because now they're bringing in the Switch crowd. So that could be the reason they're actually dropping the 4 and the Xbox One. Right? This is why I give you my thoughts as we read through the thing. Will be involved at some point. Okay? Without elaborating, the next Call of Duty game will likely be revealed at mid-2026 and hit the market at the lead up to the holiday season based on Activision's publishing pattern. Okay? So let me know what you guys think. Right? One, are you surprised if they do make Call of Duty almost the exact copy of the Modern Warfare 2 from 2022? Right? And they with a little bit of tweaks here and there. Two, do you think they drop from the other leak? Do you think they drop PlayStation 4 and Xbox One because it's on the Switch? Or do you think it stays on one more year on the older systems because of the poor performance that we hear about with this one happening right now? Let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. What's going on, Makoki? Jesse Mack. Makoki says, as long as they sell on old consoles, they'll try and make it work. Right, but they could subsidize it, meaning because it's coming out for Switch 2, or because there's enough people that moved over to PlayStation 5 and Xbox One that are playing it that they can drop it because the percentage is low. I think they do drop it. Let me be clear. I think they do drop it because of the newer systems and the Switch. But I do see a plan where if this Call of Duty didn't sell well, again, we don't know the numbers, they keep it on for one more year on the old systems, right? And obviously, if they sold enough on these new systems without the old system, then they'll drop it. But Dog says, I don't think I've played the last 4 COD games. I think 2 of them was on Game Pass. Yeah, the last 2. Last year's and this year was on Game Pass. You're not missing anything, Dog. I'll be honest with you. Jason says the fighting games actually have rhythm too for the advanced combos. Jack says they need to drop it. People need to move on from the Xbox One. It's 12 years old at this point. Yes, but if your player base doesn't want to move over, right? And it's owned by Microsoft now, Jax, and they want to go where the players are. If the players are not getting an Xbox Series S or X, they're not getting a PlayStation 5, and they're still buying the game on the old systems, I mean, they're going to put it there. Just enough says, but what is the next gen COD? Just give the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One the 720p version. That's it. That's it. If they're not buying new systems, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think the people that own an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 right now are going to go buy a $700 system when it was $500 just a couple of months ago. They didn't buy the $500 version. I don't think they're going to get the $700 version. Dog says, it feels like I could never get back into the Modern Warfare 2, which to me was the peak. Modern Warfare 2 2009 was peak. I stopped at the top, never went back. All right, what do we got here? We got the next story. Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty is the Madden football of first-person shooters, for sure. Okay, we'll do a quick story here. Oh, we're getting a little hiccup here on YouTube. The next story. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay. Steam sees over 19,000 game releases this year, sets a new record. Last year was 18,000 games. 18,000 games. This year, 19,000 games. Dear Lord. Okay. Let's all right, so Steam appeared when PC gaming was just beginning to make proper shape, eventually becoming a global giant ecosystem for gamers. It continues to set new records, providing a dominant in the market and still growing to this day. New statistics now reveal that Steam has broken yet another record, seeing the launch of over 19,000 games this year. For context, last year saw 553 fewer games launching on the store. That's a new milestone, also casts an equal larger shadow on the platform. Why it matters, Valve control on PC gaming is increasingly successful when competition rises. Another metric shown that Steam is growing compared to other storefronts that are struggling to or failing to keep up. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, can we can I see this? There you go. I don't like this ad down here. Coca-Cola. I just want to see this. Steam games release by review count. Look at this. Look at this. 380, 275, 281, 302, 423, 1,000, 713, to 2,000, to 4,000, to 6,000, to 8,000, to 800 fewer. Jumped up to 9, jumped up to 11, jumped up to 12, 14, and then boom, 14 to 18, and now it's 19,000 games. That's insane. Okay, that's insane. Steam Tracker DB reveals that almost half of the games launched this year, 7,098 to be exact, so far had fewer than 10 reviews. It shows that they were never either slop entries or failed to catch enough recognition to be successful. Well, that's how I feel about my YouTube channel. Okay, there's like 1.6 billion people or whatever having a YouTube channel, and just to have, what do we have? I don't even know how many people we have here now. What, 34 on YouTube, right? 34 on YouTube. Okay, I would be part of this flop entries, I guess, right? So about 2.2K of the overall titles have 0 user reviews, while 5.2K have fewer than 50 reviews. As a pattern suggests, the number of games significantly drops as the number of user reviews increase in a statistic. Okay, compared to last year, there's an increase in the number of entries with fewer than 10 reviews, and the decrease of the number of games with over 100 reviews this year. There's a similar worrying trend in games with over 500 reviews. Well, the problem is we don't have enough time. 19,000 games. Let's do the math. Let's do the math real quick. I don't know if they do it in this article. Let's do the math, right? 19,000 games divided by 365 is 52 games a day. You would have to play 52 games a year. Now let's do 52 divided by 24 hours. You have to spend 2 minutes. Right? That's 2 minutes. If you were awake 24 hours a day, you would turn on a game, try it for 2 minutes, and then put the game down and go to the next game. Okay? Obviously, it's impossible. Okay? Impossible. Especially since there's 19,000 games and the average person gets 3 to 4 games a year. 3 to 4 games a year. Okay? So while the new record in the number of game releases is a great achievement for Steam, the pattern for more games having fewer reviews is concerning for the future developers in the store. Okay? On a side note, Steam generated over $16.2 billion in sales this year, with likely more revenue added since a report from last month. Well, here's the thing. Make a game, sell a game. See, Steam doesn't... Well, they do, right? They do make games. But my point is, Steam makes money, okay, regardless if your game is shitty or not. Obviously, it would make more money if your game is good, because they get a cut of that, okay? But Steam doesn't care if your game makes money or not, because you're on the platform. You got to pay a certain amount, and when you do better, you get less of a break, okay? They're making $16.2 billion. They'll put 36,000 games on the platform. It's up to you, the gamer, to find out what games are good and what not, and that what you want to play, okay? Good games rise to the top. Shitty games go to the bottom. That's the way it works. It's a very competitive field, just like everything else in the world. Okay? So this works even better. Okay? People are complaining that Expedition 33 won everything. It's not fair to the other guys. Make a game, sell a game. Don't make a game and then bitch about someone else's game that made a game. Make a game, sell a game. If your game is good, people will find it. If your game is bad, no one talks about it. Unless it's Assassin's Creed Shadows, Concord, right? Because that's like cult classic bad, right? That's what people talk about. Okay? Make a game, sell a game. So do you think Steam will continue to see an increase in game releases? Yes. Or will this figure eventually decline in the future? I mean, eventually it will decline in the future because it can't constantly keep doing this. Or can it? Okay? I wonder how many games come out on mobile phones every year. Right? Is there any more to this? No. All right. Yeah, I hate when people complain about, right, all these other games are not being seen or not played, and no one forced the people. If I decide, or you decide, chat, that you want to make a game, you're like, I want to make a game. Okay? I want to make a game. Okay, great. What kind of game are you going to make? You better make a game that gamers like, right? So they chase a trend. They're like, oh, did you guys see? This is the problem when people make a game. They're like, see how much money that game made? We should make a game like that. And they don't make a game. They just copy a game. And they're like, Vampire Survivor was off the charts. We should make a game like Vampire Survivor. So people try to make Vampire Survivor. And they make versions of Vampire Survivor. Well, they're late to the market because now there's 5, 6, 10, 15 games like Vampire Survivor. Okay? So now they try to do it. Well, I don't want to do 2 days, so let's do 3/4 view. Let's do first-person view, right? And people are like, oh, man, you should try this game. This game is really fun, right? Most people don't get into video games because they want to make a game. Most people make a game because they want to become rich. You see the difference? Same with YouTube. Most people don't make a YouTube channel because they want to make content. Most people make a YouTube channel because they want to become rich. Right? They see someone else rich and they're like, I'm going to make content and I can do the exact same thing as them. And then there's me. Okay? I just like doing it. And if it comes, it comes. Okay? I've been doing it for 12 years. Okay? Make a game, sell a game. Make a movie, sell a movie. Write a book, sell the book. Okay? Don't make the thing because you think this is what people want. Make the thing that you want to make, and if it's good, put all your blood, sweat, and tears into that thing, and if they like it, people will see it, More people will watch it. More people will play it. More people will read it. Word of mouth spreads, and then your thing becomes successful. There's no such thing as overnight success. Okay? No such thing. If you are the 0.0001% of the one thing that became successful, they probably still put in years of time into a first game, their second game, their first movie, their second movie, their first book, their 10th book, until they make it overnight. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think is going to happen with Steam? Do you think the 19,000 will be beat this year with 20,000? Right? Do you think that less people will make video games? Do you think more people will make video games? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. It's going to go up, chat. It's going to go up. It's going to keep going up. Because it's becoming easier to make a video game. Let me see what you guys are saying. You guys are arguing with Travis. We skip about 30 of those conversations. Waterbear says they copy the gem, 30. And then they call it Survivors of Vampire. That's it. That's what they do. Where the Wind Meets came out of nowhere. Yeah, it came out of nowhere, but that's not an overnight success. Did the developers might be their first game together, but I'm sure the developers worked on some other before they made it. You know what I'm saying? Roic says there's a reason people say you have to pay your dues. Yeah. Imagine the best example I can give you. Recently this year, there's a football player got injured. He's out for the season. His name is Cam Scattaboo. Okay, he was a running back. Played for a not rated college a couple years ago. Then went to Arizona State. Then got drafted to the NFL. Okay, the dude played football his entire life, right? But then all of a sudden, the media gets a hold of him because he's an electrified player, and people started to interview this, interview there, show it highlights left and right, okay? And everyone's like, oh, overnight success. Overnight success. The man put in like 10 years of football, okay, between like Pee-wee, high school, college, and then made it to the NFL, and then gets injured 3 days later. You know what I mean? Like 3 weeks later. Right? Overnight success. I don't think so. I don't think so. You got to put the blood, sweat, and tears. Right? Musicians. Right? Overnight success. Yet they went from road show to road show, performed at circuses and carnivals and small theaters on the street, and then all of a sudden they have one hit song. They made it overnight success. Waterbear says, I called Cam Scattaboo a walking concussion. He won't last long with the running style. He's going to have change his running style. And he's not big enough to run like he does in the NFL. The bigness is not the problem. One of the best running backs of all time. Obviously he didn't play the same as Cam Scattaboo. Is Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is one of the shortest running backs in the game. Tiki Barber, another short guy, right? And the funny part is, he didn't even get out because of a concussion, Water. He got because of his ankle. So Travis says, 30, you've been doing this how long? And still not a huge success. Yeah. But I don't care. I don't need to be famous. I just like doing what I'm doing, Travis. I disagree. Frank Gore was one of the hardest running backs, and he was pretty small. That's another great example there. Yeah. There's a lot of small backs. You have to be a small back. You don't want to be a big back. You want to be able to squeeze through the holes and stuff like that. it can happen overnight. Look at Burnt Peanut. It's about content. And do you think Burnt Peanut happened overnight? The man's been streaming for like 6 years. 6 years. Didn't happen overnight. Go look up his content. He's changed his content over the years and finally found what it's about. You got to strike when the iron's hot, man. That didn't happen overnight for Burnt Peanut. He had to find a niche, sure, but when he found it sent him through the roof. Yeah, but you're disregarding all of the stuff that happened before he found the niche. That's not overnight success. My whole point is there's no such thing as overnight success. It became overnight for you to see him and be like, oh my God, this guy's great. But the man doing the work didn't get overnight success. That's my point. Roic says same content creators have to change their content several times before they hit it on something that works. Exactly right. Just enough says all overnight success have hidden for 5 years of work. That's right. Overnight success. You want to know who had overnight success for a little bit? You can look at what was the girl that we watched a couple months ago. Broken NPC, is that what her name was? The channel? Okay. Now I don't know what she did ahead of time. Okay. She became an overnight success somewhat because Asmongold reacted to one of her videos, and she makes good videos. And she had a spotlight on her from a person that was much bigger audience. The spotlight on her, and she has good content. Now she has like 200,000 subscribers and whatnot. Again, I don't know if she tried to do YouTube beforehand. Don't know what her background is ahead of this. Okay. You can sort of say overnight success. Everyone thinks Legendary Drop, okay, had overnight success. The man had video after video after video never seen. It took 2-3 years for him to do that. And then now he's a big time YouTuber, right? Very rarely does it happen overnight success. There are occasions of people having overnight success. But you still don't know the story, what they did before they got to that point to have the overnight success. Most overnight success stories are one-hit wonders. Not even that. One-hit wonders were on tour for years, okay, before they got to their one-hit wonder. Travis says, isn't it funny how you can be an overnight success, but you can become a failure overnight? Yeah, but that's two different things. That's two different things. Being a failure overnight is actually not overnight either. It's like a slow decline that all of a sudden spotlight's put on, and all of a sudden, like Ubisoft, right? They've been failing for years, but people will look at it and go, failed overnight. No, it's been a long run. It's just now that people are talking about it, right? Speaking of failures, this could be a failure, and this could be very successful. Okay, Marathon, right? Marathon's the next could be big thing, or it could be the next flop for extraction shooters. Okay, it's a $40 video game they announced the other day. I did see that. Okay, we're gonna watch a video. I have not seen this, so I do not know what Marathon looks like or what they have planned for it. I saw this, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch this. So this is a ViDoc from Marathon, from Bungie themselves, talking about what Marathon is. So let's check it out.
The galaxy.
The turmoil that sort of ensues gives rise to all these corporations that were invested in this Marathon project now going, what happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that is the galaxy.
The turmoil that sort of
Wait a
ensues
minute,
gives rise to all these
Where's the
corporations.
video? Where's the ViDoc? Why is it 13 seconds? I'm so confused. All right, there we go. I was like,
Players
why
want
is it
more
13
challenge.
seconds?
The whole point of an extraction shooter is that you're challenged to even survive in this world.
We heard loud and clear from the alpha.
Let me just make this clear before you even watch this, right? I have no interest in Marathon. Zero interest in Marathon. Okay. I'm done supporting Bungie in any way, shape, or form. I guess this would be supporting them. I'm showing a video because I know people are interested in Marathon, and we like to watch things and criticize them and talk about them and give my thoughts and opinions based on the stuff we watch, not what we've heard. So we're gonna watch this. I'm gonna give you my opinions off of this. I know a lot of people are excited about this game when it comes out because this might be your game that you might be playing for the next year, 2 years, whatever, or it might be out of the door in 12 days, like Concord. All right, here we go.
The world didn't feel dangerous. The world didn't feel lived in.
Tau Ceti 4 to us is this place that really doesn't want you there. And that sort of survival narrative really fits really well with the kind of world that we're creating.
The world needs to feel like there is something sinister underneath the surface, even when the colors are really bright.
You should not be here.
We want to marry the classic Bungie game feel, where you are blasting stuff in the face and it feels amazing, with the sort of high tension of the survival genre.
If you want good loot, you have to go to places where you're taking risks.
So obviously the Bungie crowd that's been Bungie fans for the last, with Halo and Destiny, you're getting a small percentage of these people to come and play this game, because these people that played Halo and these people that played Destiny, yes, there's PvP involved with Destiny and with Halo, but the mass market of their population of people that love this game were PvEers, were for the story. Now, I know a lot of people talk about how no one's playing Destiny for the story. If that was true, then they wouldn't have been around for 10 years seeing what the story is, right?
There are risks from other.
There wouldn't be lore videos out there for Destiny. What's going on, Squeaky? There wouldn't be lore content videos out there and people watching millions of times if there were people not excited for it.
Players are risks from AI.
So we have all these tools now, Rook with Prox Chat, and
Yeah, my pipes got fixed.
the way the game works and sort of how tense it is. I think all those things work together really well.
We have another Rook. Come on, stop that. No. Sorry.
Oh, they put it in proximity chat. The thing they said that they aren't going to put in. They put proximity chat in. Huh. See the way it works, chat. Arc Raiders has proximity chat, and now obviously other games have proximity chat. But because proximity chat was an overnight success, let's say, all right, an overnight success for Arc Raiders, now Marathon's like, huh, we should probably put in proximity chat. I do not like the visual style of this. I don't.
Marathon ship is essentially a ship that we sent out from Earth, an Earth that was overpopulated, to explore and colonize a star far away that we call Tau Ceti. In a lot of ways, it's like the tale of humanity trying to go out into the dark void of space, find a place to colonize, and failing terribly at it.
Everyone's gone, something catastrophic happened, and it's not just their absence that's important, it's the things that they left behind.
Feels Good says, it's cool. Everything looks 3D printed. I can't tell if Feels Good if I'm being dead serious. I can't tell if you're being facetious or if you're being dead serious. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell.
The modern race to Tau Ceti
all started when a mysterious signal came.
It's not sarcasm. Okay,
the
all right.
galaxy.
I just couldn't tell. You know what I mean? Because a statement like that, you're like, it's so cool. It looks 3D printed. Like, you know where I'm coming from. I was like, is he excited about it or is he not excited about it? I can't tell.
The turmoil that's sort
I'm not gonna shit on you because you like something. I couldn't tell if you were being sarcastic or not.
of ensues gives rise to all these corporations that were invested in this marathon project now going
Almost ugly in a good way. I want you to put that in any other form. Any other form, right? You see a girl or a guy that you're interested in, and you're like, man, I'm attracted to that person. That person's ugly, but in a good way. You're ugly in a good way. That does not go away, right? This ice cream tastes like shit. It's shit in a bad way or in a good way. It's like, what? No.
What happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that is the greed and corruption of all of the different factions and corporations and revolutionary groups.
In our version of the world, we send people out not just to discover what happened, but also to collect from the things that remain there. And those people.
Just says every time I open and close the chat on mobile, it says member only chat for a few seconds. Got to stop being broke, boy. It's not member only. I know that. Definitely not member only.
For our runners.
As a runner, you're a
Because there's members. Because Travis is here. It's definitely not members only because Travis is here.
biocybernetic mercenary who's traded their human body for a biosynthetic one.
You're not an unkillable god slayer. You are a mercenary, a disposable mercenary. You will live, you will die.
They are not people. You are the person. You go into that shell and adopt.
Well, thank God you don't see yourself run. Because that running animation doesn't look very good.
Unkillable god slayer. You are a mercenary, a disposable mercenary. You will live, you will die.
They are not people. You are the person. You go into that shell and adopt the personality matrix that is specifically designed to.
So they're classes. So you could change what your shell of your character looks like? Is that basically what it is?
Help you do the thing that you need to do. And you've been hired by these factions to come to Tau Ceti to scavenge for anything that might be.
Yes, chat's always been for subscribers only since day one.
Of value.
As a runner, you've left your body behind. You've traveled light years so that you can have access to the ultimate payday.
With extraction shooters, it is all about survival. There are other people who want the same things that you want.
Can I just say, I know it's for video, and I'm not nitpicking them. Just in general, when they showcase a game, right? When they showcase a game and they do this thing right here,
survival. There are other people who
like nobody's sneaking up on somebody going like super slow motion, right? You're like go watch anybody playing any extraction game, any shooting game. No one's going. No one is slow panning over the edge.
Want the same things that you want, and it's up to you to best them.
But there's quiet periods where you're listening for the anticipation of something. Could there be another crew in the distance?
You're just selling me more on Arc Raiders. I'll be honest. You're just selling me. There's a quiet period. You can hear things. Yeah, that's not groundbreaking. That's literally every game that's out there.
Did I just hear a gunshot? Did I hear AI just alert? And then there's the loud, bombastic action.
What happened to that? What happened to that guy?
And then there's the loud, bombastic action moments where the minute something is alerted, the minute you're in that fight, now it's go time. Players particularly pose a lot of danger to you. They can make a lot of decisions that you might find illogical and completely trick you into scenarios. Sometimes the best loot box is another player that you see.
40 spaces in your backpack. That's not enough. Hope you can expand that.
A longer run. So there's a few different ways you can play the game. So
I don't even like
loot box.
I'm sorry. I know it's early access, guys, or whatever they're showing here. This UI looks terrible. This UI system looks terrible.
Is another player that you see a longer run. So there's a few different ways you can play the game. So one of them is you can play in crew, both with your friends and also through crew fill, which will just match you
Ugly in a good way. That's right. Ugly in a good way.
with two other players. You can play solo, and you'll jump into a game with a bunch of other solo players.
In solo, I think the stakes are a bit higher.
Okay, hold on. Because I'm watching this, but I'm not. It's like my son listening to me. It's in one ear, out the other. I gotta rewind here for a second.
So there's a few different ways you can play the game. So one of them is you can play in crew, both with your friends and also through crew fill, which will just match you with two other players. You can play solo, and you'll jump into a game with a bunch of other solo players.
In solo,
thanks for explaining how solo works. You guys can play solo with other solo players. That's good. Thank you.
I think the stakes are a bit higher, right? You have only yourself to rely on.
You still have proc strat, so you can call out to other solos, but you are.
He just laughed there when he said proximity chat. Listen to him again.
A bunch of other solo players.
In solo, I think the stakes are a bit higher, right? You have only yourself to rely on.
You still have proc strat, so you can call out to other solos, but you are playing a tense alliance game where
they're trying to sell you. You could call out to other people, but this is an intense game until it's not. Until it's not, right? Because if your vision for your game is PvP, 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 but you get what's happening in Arc Raiders right now, or what happened in Arc Raiders when it launched, where people were friendly, that's sort of why he's laughing, I would think. Again, I'm reading into it, but he makes the joke of you can talk to people, but, right? Like, listen to him again.
Call out to other solos, but you are playing.
You can call it to other solos. He literally says that. You can call it to other solos.
A tense alliance game where it's really up to them whether or not they decide to honor or respect that alliance you might have created.
It's all about figuring out what's your investment, what's your stake, when to get in, when to get out, and when to kill the other guy. Being good at Marathon is like playing poker with guns.
Your volume is not broke. I'm comprehending what he just said. Marathon is like poker with guns.
One of the things we've really focused on is making sure the environments are...
Again, I know this is promotional stuff, and they're showing no one moves like this.
Selling the tone we want to hit with the game.
We've brought a little bit of groundedness, a little bit of grit, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of that mood that kind of is necessary for an extraction shooter to feel dangerous.
Our biggest goal has always been player immersion.
We're trying to keep everything as believable and realistic as possible.
So we cranked up all the material responses, feel accurate, feel realistic. You'll get gloss, you'll get crud and mud. And no one of those things is all that sexy, but when you layer in just a little bit more, responsive to light, a little bit more responsive.
Yeah, but you can't see any of it. You're in first person. Like, you can't see any of that on your character with the mud and stuff and the grit.
To the player, things will part, water will pool. Layer in all these different things, the world becomes much more alive. It feels like a real place. And then when you're feeling like a real place and you feel in danger, now you're...
Yeah, I love moving. I love leveling up to move faster. Yeah.
Run matters.
Mo says, so this game called Path of Exile 2 just dropped a new league, new character, a new ascendance. Pretty damn great for better Diablo. You should give it a shot. Are you working for GGG right now? This little game called Path of Exile 2 just dropped. Oh, okay. Thank you.
I look back at some of the alpha shots, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's sunny or when it's rainy. Weather feels like weather now. Like when.
Oh, that's good. Again, another selling point. Weather feels like weather now, and Marathon is like poker, but with guns.
It's sunny, you get this really nice like bleaching effect. It feels bright. It feels like warm when it's sunny now.
I love what they're saying right now. It's so fucking dumb. When it's sunny out, it feels warm. It feels like warm. You mean because of the sun?
I feel like we're just celebrating that color so much more. I think it just contributes to the whole effect.
So we have dead bodies in the game now. We also have
we have dead bodies in the game. That's right, because when you died, your body would vanish.
Decay on the runners themselves. Like you'll actually see them fall apart. We're actually dropping.
That's interesting. So now if you see a body on the ground, I mean, it kind of brings to the... And I'm thinking about this in an Arc Raiders way. Because sometimes you roll up on a group and you're like, hey, did you kill these people? They're like, no, I didn't kill anybody. You know what I mean? Type of thing. But now if you come across like a solo and you see him looting bodies, but the bodies have been there a while, right? You'll know that he didn't kill them because they were dead already because they decay over time. So you know that person, if he says he's friendly, I mean, obviously, it doesn't have to be friendly, but you would be like, no, he didn't kill them type of thing. So you could trust him a little bit more. That's interesting. That's an interesting little thing they changed in the game.
The body stays there, and the body slowly decays over time as you loot it.
So you come into a room and you see a bunch of carnage, but you see one body is still pristine.
You know someone's close. Right. If you still see a body pristine, you know someone's close is in the room.
You know that their killer is probably close, and you are not safe. If everybody is just a messy goop, you're probably okay.
Audio is a huge gameplay component in Marathon. Every sound plays a function.
I feel like you're just put on a different planet inside the Destiny universe.
Footsteps tell players everything. It's telling you what is the type of threat that's around you. Where are they at? Are they above you? Are they far away? Are they close by? So if I'm in bioresearch and I hear a particular material type, I know, hey, they're on the second floor and they're in this room. Our hero is the world. So we're constantly trying to figure out where can music help reinforce what is the vibe and intent of this place.
There was the discussion about the interaction between score and sound design. And I wanted to create a score that wasn't just like full of instruments you've heard before. The job was, how can I make what I'm seeing, this race to survival, even more nervous and even more terrifying or even more thrilling?
We have 4 zones, and each one of those zones has its own sort of approach to kind of level design and what it asks players to kind of think about and do. You're going to start with perimeter. You're kind of on the outskirts of the colony. It's a little more spread out. You got a little bit more areas to be safe and to sneak around, but it's also a little more straightforward.
Doesn't this come off a little weird now? Because we are a month and a half into Arc Raiders, and we're 6-7 years into like Tarkov and Hunt Showdown and stuff like that, where basically everything they're describing in this game is something that's in other games already. So they're trying to sell you on their game doing things that other games do, right? So like, obviously I always talk about like, this is the bar set. So for like the extraction genre, like this is it, right? And then you got to hit this bar. They're selling you on them hitting the bar for extractions. You see what I'm saying? They're not trying to go above. They're just trying to get you to know that they're doing exactly what everyone else is doing, but in their designed world of this. They're not really selling me on like the decayed bodies is different, sure. But they're just telling you the sun is warm, right? Weather's weather.
It really brings this sense of scale. It sits like in our fantasy as expansion site for the colony on the very edges of where they had settled on Tau Ceti. UESC are also there trying to understand what has happened and secure the area. Death is a part of Marathon. It happens a lot, even on perimeter, which we talk about as a more friendly zone to new runners. You are still gonna die.
Why do they keep laughing? Hold on.
A more friendly zone to new runners.
It's like they're laughing about, so far, Joe said something funny when in proximity chat about solos because of what's happening in Arc Raiders. And then he laughed when he said friendly. I'm assuming that's because of what's happening in Arc Raiders as well, right?
You are still gonna die a lot.
Attention, unauthorized runner. You are trespassing in a military security zone.
It was really important to us that the UESC were not trivial to fight.
When you face them on Tau Ceti as a runner, you are the outlaw. You are trespassing.
They have a little bit of this haunted tone. So you can see they have this floating locomotion, they get these sparks, they have these sigils over their faces. Sometimes their behavior feels almost like they're possessed a little bit, like are they taking in commands from a remote AI? The elite tier is sort of like this dark blue. The mini boss tier is more like a lilac. The boss tier is just gonna be dipped in red.
It almost feels like it's pixelated. Like it's a voxel-based game. You know what I mean? The way that they're designed, everything's very blocky.
They have these tendrils that latch out and leech onto you and start sucking away at your consciousness.
You're getting into Marsh, you're starting to understand something bad happened here, and you're seeing signs of that in a way that wasn't apparent on perimeter.
On Dire Marsh, we've got the anomaly, and it's this strange alien entity that has erupted up out of the ground.
You're really feeling signs that this is more of an epicenter of where things went
Craig Rhodes Jr. says, this isn't Marathon.
wrong on this colony.
It's got a different...
You are correct. This isn't Marathon. This is Marathon, which is different than Marathon.
style of gameplay is more like a central complex that is rich with overlapping areas and regions that you can find yourself kind of bleeding from one encounter to another.
It's a great map to go in when you just want some action, and you're gonna need somewhere to farm.
Each map has different weather systems, it has different dynamic events that can happen, and your approach to them is never going to be consistent.
One of the needs that the design team thought that we should have is more challenging PvE activities.
Each of our zones has these bigger events that don't happen every
Wouldn't it be funny? Again, we're going to have the exact same conversations that we're having right now if Arc Raiders should have PvE or PvP. You're going to have the exact same thing that's happening with Marathon when it comes out. People are going to be like, oh man, they should have a PvE thing. They should make this like Destiny. They should do this. These are all the things that are going to happen when this game comes out.
But when they do happen, you'll know they're happening.
Building these types of events into the world shake up your run and make you decide, like, what do you want to risk?
Then you get to Outpost.
I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. The bosses, or not the bosses, the players that you go up against, this 100% looks like a oh god, I used to pop their heads. What's the I can't think of the faction's name.
Risk.
There's the Vex. There's the Cabal. He looks like a Cabal, but in robot form. Like, he looks like a Cabal. It's like a Vex Cabal, is what basically, yes, thank you. Pilksuck, right? It looks like a Cabal, but in Vex form.
Then you get to Outpost. An Outpost is a more functional, thriving UESC facility. There's scan drones flying overhead, the UESC's everywhere, there's tripwires, there's a weather hazards. It's a lot of stuff you're up against from the get-go.
Outpost is a smaller map, but it's also a lot more vertical. It's built around a specific building that we call the pinwheel.
This is just this meat grinder of a structure that's like a corkscrewed building that has nooks and crannies and hallways, and it just becomes a real, real cluster when you're in there fighting.
That's actually a good question, Travis. Iron Fist says, has anyone in this video sound like they have any passion? I'll be honest, it doesn't sound like they have passion. The way they're talking about it sounds like they're just going down the checklist, right? It sounds like they're just going down the checklist and describing, what's in the game. Because it is a hard sell, right? Remember, this game was supposed to come out 2 months ago. 3 months ago, September 23rd, 22nd was supposed to come out. And obviously they had their problems because of, art theft and stuff like that. And they've all figured that out now. But again, we live in a different world now because Arc Raiders was successful. So now it's even harder for them to come out with something that needs to hit up to the bar of that. You know what I mean? Thank you, Raj, for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's weird.
The floor is raised on Outpost and nothing is free. The pinwheel hosts some of the best loot opportunities.
But it's noisy, players are going to know you're doing it, so there's extra risks.
The character you're going to spend the most time with is the zones.
I feel like when people, I just read what you said there. Yeah. Silk says, a lot of these NPCs animations look like it was taken from Destiny to watch how some of them walk and attack. I feel like when people start playing this game, again, a lot of people are going to be Destiny fans that wanted Destiny 3. And I think a lot of people will be like, man, they should have just made Destiny 3 when they play this, right? I just feel like it's not going to go over very well. And I've said this on record. I said Sony's, no matter what happens with this game, they're going to support it because they have way too much money invested into Bungie. Between buying the company and supporting what they have and then dismantling what they're doing, they need it to be successful. And if it's not successful when it comes out, then they're going to force it to be successful by supporting it for at least a year, if not 2, right? I don't think we have a Concord on our hands where they're done in 13 days. And that's just unheard of. I mean, could it fail in the first year? Yeah, but I think they're just going to brute force this into the market.
Understanding each personality of every zone. That's the storytelling every player gets.
Every time you're on the planet, you can look up and see the ship floating. And
no, Drummond, I've been very forward with this. I have no interest in any Bungie game. I know a lot of people in the chat like their game, right? They're looking forward to Marathon. I don't want to shit on someone else's thing. I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions on why I have no interest in. I do believe the gunplay and stuff looks good. I have no interest in. I'll be honest with you. I had no interest in Arc Raiders either. I have no interest in Bungie, the company. Okay. I can go into long detail why I don't like Bungie, but I'm not. Right? I just don't like Bungie. So I'm not going to support anything they do. So I will not be playing this, not trying it, not getting it a demo, a beta. I have no interest in this game whatsoever.
Looming in the skybox, reminding you of why this place even exists, but also reminding you that something up happened here, and you got to figure out what it was.
Marathon has a lot of loot in it. It's a huge pie. There's a ton of different implants at every rarity. There's a ton of different runner cores. For each runner, there's...
I think the UI is awful. That's not coming from because I don't like Bungie. That's from a UI standpoint, it looks awful.
For 400 weapon mods, like it's just an outlandish number.
A lot of weapon mods. 400? It's going to take at least 3 months before they nerf one of them.
Items to collect.
There's going to be a really interesting period of discoverability where players sort of figure out what are the pieces that I have available to me, how do I get them, and how do I put them together into something that's awesome.
That's not a false thing there, Altern. Altern says you want people to win them over, and for Arc Raiders, make PvE mode. I bet that will get people in that way. Probably. I said the same thing with Marvel Rivals with Overwatch. You put a PvE mode, and you're going to bring those people in that wanted that PvE mode from Overwatch.
You can go through and look at how many iconic weapons have come from Bungie. And it's something that we really want to hold up and make sure that we're matching that legacy.
Visually, they're all really, really distinct and clearly Marathon, but we wanted animation-wise a majority of them to feel recognizable. So when you put them in your hands, you knew how to use them.
Mods will basically allow you to increase certain stats on the guns, that battery SMG. The gold mod, full-blown, turns it into the needlet. The sidearm is a gun that is effective in close quarters, but maybe not too much outside.
Bungie should have made a racing game. Yeah, because we were talking earlier how the racing game company Playground was making Fable. Bungie should have just shifted gears, and no pun intended there, and made a racing game instead. This looks so, I don't know. It just.
But the gold mod on this gun puts a suppressor on it, and then when I kill something with this gun, I turn invisible. And then that lends it to other build crafting if I want to sort of stack into how invisible can I be.
Even some weapon mods can improve stats and your runner shell's capabilities. So there's lots of different ways to raise the floor of your stats so that you're coming into each run strong.
Destiny Sparrow League racing? Yeah, basically.
Runner shells are a bioprinted body that you inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of the Lost Colony. Each of our launch shells is.
I hope that store is like in-game store and not microtransaction store. Because they literally put that shit first. Like, store. You might want to move that down a little bit.
Really an archetype of gameplay. So if you want to play like a frontline tank, if you want to play a rat character that wants to sneak around, if you want to find those rats, we have a shell for you.
The idea there is like have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're going to build on top of that.
Cores and implants mold the kit into a playstyle that you want.
So examples of those are like on Thief, I get a second
Travis says, which one looks worse, this or High Guard? High Guard.
grapple. On Destroyer, I pull out my Riot Barricade, and as it takes damage, it's actually converting that damage into shield back to me.
And these can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit.
And
did they mention any kind of timer? Like you're in the thing and you have to extract? Did they mention anything like that?
Point you feel like you don't want to risk anything, or maybe you're down on your luck and you want the opportunity to get back, Rook's your guy.
Rook is a prototype runner shell.
It's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible.
You are going in solo to a run that's already in progress. You don't have a team, you have a very limited loadout, but you're not risking anything. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
So when you get like a really powerful gun or implant or core, it is unlocking some new space or new challenge that you've never done before, and the loot is helping you reach greater heights.
So to make people play certain ways, they will make you just like they did in Destiny. Again, I don't know if they're going to do this. This is the way I feel like they're going to go. Because when Destiny first came out, you would do missions, and to get your level gear, everyone would make the same character 3 times. You make 3 hunters, 3 warlocks, three titans. They didn't want you to play the game that way. So they made certain characters mission-based type of stuff for that. I guarantee you for each of the things, it'd be like, oh, be the rook and complete these missions. Be the rat, complete these missions, to make you swap classes type of stuff.
Faction agents are such a big vehicle for tone and narrative for the world.
Each faction.
Yeah, but that's just a free runner. That's just a free kit, a free loadout. Feels good. It's the same exact thing. Instead of saying I'm going to do a free loadout, you have to pick a certain class, which is the rook.
Has their own motivations, their own desires, the things they're going to ask you to do.
We've got Traxxas. They're the most powerful corporation in human history. They have very long arms and very deep pockets to kind of get what they want.
So they might ask you to go and find specific weapons or mods.
Congratulations, runner. Your last performance evaluation was rated on track.
If you're a PvP player, one of the factions is called Arachne. They're essentially a death cult. What that translates to is that they're asking you to go and kill other runners.
Now, this could be interesting with factions, right? This could be interesting with factions. Sort of like what just happened, and I'm going to make Arc Raiders an example for a second, is what the streamers did with the factions. Like, if you want to be part of this crew or that crew, they had that built in, which is stuff that we talked about on Destiny with the factions that you could be. I said they should make faction wars, and that's how they should have done, like, way back when I was on a podcast talking about Destiny. I talked about how faction wars should have been a thing inside the actual game, where you would go up and instead of just one team versus the other team, you would join a mission as that faction. Okay, so everyone on that team is that faction going up against the other factions, the Vanguard, whatever. That's what they should have done. It seems like they've incorporated that in this a little bit by taking jobs from these factions. So it's not this faction versus that faction per se, but when you go into the world, if you're part of this faction, your play style is going to be completely different than if you're with the other faction. Come on,
The
Dick.
sacred thermodynamics of violence.
Mida is all about destruction. They are going to give you grenades, they're going to give you claymores, they're going to let you blow the place up.
And they are irreverent and dangerous. They might ask you to upload this malware into a UESC dropship, and as it leaves, it explodes and careens off into the distance.
We have big plans. Explosive, visionary.
Each of our factions has an upgrade tree that you unlock progressively as you gain reputation with
And there's gameplay for you, replayability, right? So each faction has their own skill tree.
them.
And along the way, you're going
to... I have to say it again.
Tree that you
Their UI system looks terrible. It looks terrible. There's 6 pages of each of the skill tree type of thing.
unlock progressively as you gain reputation with them.
And along the way, you're going to unlock these capstones that are these special upgrades. When you unlock that final capstone, you're gaining access to the best stuff in the market. You're getting gold items.
Are they going to do what others? Are they going to have seasons? Are they going to reset? Are you going to have things that you lose all your progress and stuff like that?
In addition, these faction upgrades can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
Well, there you go. The answer to my question. So you're grinding up, you're getting all this stuff, you're getting the season stuff throughout the entire season?
Can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
Permanent for the rest of the season. Got you. So we're going for hardcore players here.
Access denied.
Darius, you know me. Did you miss your last round of maintenance?
Don't search. Don't tick. Don't question.
Darius?
Access denied. Access
Deceiver says, hi, I'm new here. UI is enough to kill this game. Yeah, the UI is, in my opinion, is absolute dog shit. But again, I'm not going to be playing this game. I'm just looking at a visually standpoint. The UI is terrible.
Okay, it's just me.
I'm not alone.
The Codex is...
Mo's like, you want to see a skill tree? You should check out this passive tree in Path of Exile too. Talk about build diversity. Who are you today, Mo? Who are you? You got the bug, man. GGG's got sunk its teeth into you, huh?
Is a suite of achievements, collectibles, audio logs, things that you're finding in Run that we're going to track for you over time. The more you find these items, the more story you're unlocking about them and what their role is in the world, why they're here, who cared about them.
Yeah, Bungie's always had good gunplay. Gunplay, I've never had an issue with Bungie's gunplay in any of their games that they've created.
Why they're as valuable as they are.
I'm repeating myself with these entries, but any fears inherent in the scope of this endeavor seem unfounded.
Within the Codex, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can unlock. Runner skins, weapon skins, weapon charms, stickers.
Stickers? Oh, so, I changed my whole outlook, guys. I'm sorry. I'm in for the stickers. I'm coming. I'm playing this game nonstop. Sorry, Drummel. I said I wasn't. Drummond, I said I wasn't going to play this game. They said stickers. I'm in now.
Emblems, backgrounds for your profile, and titles.
So it's everything from your first steps on the world of Tau City 4 all the way through to becoming a vid master and taking on the most extreme challenges.
Yeah, oh my God, stickers day one. Mo, does Path of Exile 2 have stickers? You got stickers that I can put on stuff over there? Marathon's got stickers.
The Marathon ship is the hardest place to survive in this game. And if you're not ready to take your best stuff, well, you're not going to survive. It's like a heist for a runner. Cryo Archive is big in and of itself, but
it is $40. They came out with the price. It's $40.
It's also cold. It's also hostile.
I wonder if cold feels cold.
It's going to test every aspect of the survival game. Probably going to be forced to run to players in ways you haven't been on other maps. You're going to run into basically every type of environmental threat you have faced before. You're going to fight a who's who of the highest tier UESC units, and the UESC are there in this presence you haven't seen before.
Is this like a raid inside? Oh, a heist. He said heist. Is this like a standalone game mode inside of the game, or is this within the realm itself, like inside the map itself?
It's really cool because each of the vaults is more successively challenging than the next.
Vaults. Okay.
And that 7th vault is where you both are going to get the coolest thing. But
oh, you see what they did there? You see what they did? The 7th vault. We all know Bungie likes 7.
Also where you're going to learn the most about what happened to this place.
At some point.
Imagine putting a story into a thing, but people told me that people that play Bungie games don't like story. But yet they have story within inside the game. Weird.
In your journey in Cryo Archive, you might start wondering if the UAC are there to keep you out or if they're actually there to keep something else in.
Nice.
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for Marathon is getting into the hands of our players.
The biggest thing I want people to take away from Marathon is that it's
new stickers every month for $20 battle pass.
Still feels amazing. It still feels like it has that spark.
It takes all the aspects that I think Bungie is really good at. First-person feel and gunplay, the super deep, crazy sci-fi lore, and it mixes up all those things together in a really amazing PvP package.
Really comes down to every single discipline that's working on the anime.
Here's my problem with Bungie and PvP. They literally stopped supporting their PvP mode inside of Destiny. First, they went in hardcore into it because they wanted to make it the next esport event. And then they completely dropped it. And now they made a dedicated game for PvP. there's just something that doesn't sit right with me when you had a game and a player base that played your PvP game, played your PvE game, and you abandoned your PvP. And now you made a dedicated PvP game. Because, yes, it's PvP VE, but it's PvP. I don't know, man. I just don't trust them.
Animation has to be good. The sound has to be good. Everything has to be working in harmony.
That's when the controller fades away, the screen fades away. You're just immersed in the world.
That is what we're trying to live up to with Marathon.
It is a mad dash. I'm not going to front about that. It's a mad dash to the finish, but that's when you got to put in the elbow grease and the extra sweat and blood it takes to get this done.
Dude, what is this? What is it? Let's go. 5 people in the extract.
It's something so simple that they added that they weren't going to add. Remember, they said that they didn't want they didn't want proximity chat in the game, right? But then all of a sudden, proximity chat completely changed the landscape. And again, it wasn't the first game to do it, right? There's other proximity chat games out there. But Arc Raiders, because of an extraction, all of a sudden has proximity chat. And all of a sudden they use this as a big selling point now of we have it too. So if you're looking forward to this, right? Something simple as that as a proximity chat completely changes the landscape of the game feels. Because if you played that game and you were only playing solo and you couldn't talk to anybody, boring, right? Boring, right? If you're playing on crew and you're only talking to your crew, but you couldn't banter with the other guys that you're shit talking, boring, okay? Look, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I hope the game makes it. I'm not going to support them. I'm not interested in Marathon. I'm not interested in Bungie, right? If Marathon was being made by somebody else, maybe I give it a shot. I'm not supporting Bungie in any way, shape, or form as far as financially here, okay? I think the game lasts only because Sony's going to brute force it to last. I don't think it's going to last because it's going to be a groundbreaking game. Again, if you're already playing Tarkov, if you're already playing Hunt Showdown, if you're already playing the other whatever extraction game that you're playing out there, you're playing it right now for a reason, right? If it's Vigor, if it's another game I don't remember the names of, if you're playing Showdown, if you're playing Arc Raiders, what is this game going to do to pull you from that game to bring you into this game, right? Is it the lore? Is it the gunplay, right? Is it what is it going to take? If you already put in 6 years into Tarkov, you're probably not going to come over here, right? If you already put Hunt Showdown, you're probably not going to come over here. If you're loving Arc Raiders, which is brand new, 3 months from now, you're probably not coming over to Marathon. So I don't know. This is a hard sell. I hope they find a player base. I hope they find a player base that makes enough money for them. Because again, I said this before, and I'll say it again. Sony's going to brute force this into the market. They're going to give it as much possible breathing room as if 1 year support. I don't think we have a Concord on our hands here. I don't think it vanishes in a month. Okay, I think this is here for the long haul. Because no matter what, Sony needs this to be successful. They need this to be successful. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Let me know in the live chat. What do you guys think of Marathon? Does this look interesting to you? Is this going to pull you away from the other game? I'm not here to shit on you. If you like the game, you like the game. But explain to me what's going to pull you from the game that you're playing right now, if you're playing an extraction game, to come to this game. Is it because it's Bungie? Is it because these are the people that made Destiny? Is it because these people made Halo back in the day, even though none of these people made any of these things? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. James Thomas says, Destiny could have stayed their multiplayer IP and Marathon should have been their single-player IP. Imagine, that's an whole other conversation, James, right? Where Marathon was a single-player game, and they made it into a PvP. It's kind of weird. Deceiver says, no chat equals no soul. Travis says Bungie and Crafton both are ignored. Let's see here. Free to play? No. Yeah, it's not free to play. It's $40, and I think it's going to be another hard sell. Arc Raiders is still hitting 300,000. Good luck to all that got to say. Sin says, if anything, PCMR may keep this game alive, at least for a bit. Marathon going to be the next Battleborn. Oh, man, I liked Battleborn. Battleborn failed not because of the single player aspect, and I liked what you did in that game. It's because of the MOBA side, right? Overwatch killed that game. Overwatch killed Battleborn. And they weren't even the same fucking type of game. I like the story elements of Battleborn, and they completely shut. I wish they kept the single player aspect of the co-op aspect of it. Sarge says they don't care if the player base is 6 months from release. They care if they're selling as many copies as possible up front. Marathon looks like it's going to be good for the same purpose as Battleborn is now. Yeah, maybe. Fire Gaming Lover says National Syrup Day. My favorite flavor of pancakes. That's not fire. First of all, flavor of pancakes, that's plain pancakes. The syrup is the flavor. Unless you have like chocolate chip, put something else in your pancakes, man. Plain is your favorite pancake, but you have to put syrup to make them taste better. That's a bad pancake. You have a good pancake with stuff already in it. Oh, you mean it will go free to play and Game Pass in a year? Well, I think all roads lead to Game Pass. I do. At least for Xbox side. All roads lead to Game Pass. Obviously, that's not the same as for Sony. But I guess they have PlayStation Plus, yeah. All roads leads to subscription model. The problem is that Marathon succeeds. Sony won't view it as Bungie made a good game. They'll view it as games as service system works. The green light around 10 more games as service games and cancel more. Yeah, I mean, what did they cancel? They canceled 8 of the 12 games they were working on, right? Bro, look at this game, then look at Destiny. What the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, it's very. I mean, it looks like Cabal and Vex. They're like, what about if we took the Vex and made them like the Cabal? We'll put them in Marathon. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they obviously used different assets and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Do I have another small story? Past 12. Go to Twitter. Let me see anything going on Twitter right now. If you guys are new to my channel, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do have multiple channels here as well if you're new. We have a 30 and Still Gaming channel, which is our gaming channel. We play video games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. Tonight we're playing games with Sarge. It's called Shooting the Shit with Sarge. It's just shooting the shit, like talking while we play video games. Or shooting the actual shit while we play video games. We have another channel called Nerding with 30, which does that entertainment stuff. I haven't really done much support over there. We do live channels here, live shows here on Twitch and YouTube. We do a podcast on Thursday nights, which is called Generation X Gaming, which is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. That's Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can listen to all of this or all the podcasts over on Spotify, Anchor.fm, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere a podcast is seen or heard. So we do lots of different content here. But like I said, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock. We just cover news stories, have conversations, give you my thoughts and opinions. Then we get your thoughts and opinions from the chat. What is this? Paul Tassi says Xbox sales are down 70% year over year, with PlayStation 5 down 40%. Well, imagine that. Imagine that. We could probably read this tomorrow. Yeah, we'll read this tomorrow. Attention Raiders, topside humming and the buzzing of the live stream. New Twitch drops are live until January 12th. So you get Twitch drops for Arc Raiders, if those of you are looking for Arc Raiders. Behind closed doors showing of upcoming Starfield content took place recently, making those who attended very excited for the future of the game. So apparently something is happening with Starfield, which was supposed to happen in September, which didn't happen in September. And now rumors are spinning around that Starfield is coming to PlayStation and the DLC is coming out, and they're going to make an announcement probably, I would assume, in January, right? On that event that we talked about earlier today. The event is live. Call of Duty. Okay, so November 2025, top 20 best-selling games. So here you go. Let's look at this. Top best-selling games, physical and full game digital from Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC platforms for published a digital leader. They don't tell you the actual sales. But look at this. Call of Duty from November 2nd to November 29th was ahead of Battlefield on PlayStation. Was the number one selling game over on PlayStation, and this one is on Xbox, I believe. Digital sales, Nintendo and a platform. Sales or software package, hardware bundle not included in the best-selling style charts. Okay, so this is Battlefield 6 is number 1 here. Call of Duty is number 7 on this list. So this is what I'm talking about right here. We don't know the numbers, obviously. They don't tell us the numbers. Based on the old information that we've gotten, that PlayStation players, gamers, 15 to 16% of all owners of a PlayStation buy Call of Duty games, right? By that logic, there's 75 to 80 million PlayStation 5 owners out there, okay? 15 to 16% of that is 12 million copies sold, if that number still stands. Okay, again, rough estimate. Okay, if that's the case, plus whatever they sold on PlayStation, or I'm sorry, PC, and whatever they sold on Xbox, Call of Duty's probably sold about 15, 16, 17 million copies across the board. Right? Be interesting to find out when they actually tell you. Jeff Keighley says U.S. video game hardware sales in November were the lowest by units since November of 1995 at 1.6 million. Okay, top selling hardware was PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2, then the NEX Playground, and then the Xbox Series S and X. Let me repeat that for the people in the back of the room that keep telling me that gaming systems are more popular than ever. Video game hardware sales are the lowest they've been since 1995. Well, it says in November. 1.6 million. Not good. Not good. Oh, FIFA is changing the game. Get ready for a newly reimagined FIFA football simulation game developed by Delphi Interactive exclusively on Netflix Games this summer, just in time for the FIFA World Cup 2026. Look at that. FIFA. It's almost like I can predict the future. FIFA is teaming up with Netflix Games. Putting a soccer game on Netflix. That instantaneously makes more people that can play a FIFA game than EA. Because more people own Netflix, potentially, can try FIFA than all of video game systems combined. We don't know much information about it. I guess we'll know more later. Here it says Battlefield 6 is US's best-selling game of 2025 year-to-date. How do you know that? I hate when they do this. I hate when they show stuff like this because they show no numbers. It's just a trust me bro moment. Battlefield 6 is U.S. best-selling. Okay. What do we know here? Monster Hunter has sold a shit ton of copies. Borderlands has sold a shit ton of copies, but we don't know any actual numbers for any of these things. Right? We know that Battlefield sold 10 million copies, allegedly. but we don't know how many are in the US. Right? We know Monster Hunter sold 15 million copies and 500,000 in the last 7 months, but we don't know what the total sales are for that. We don't know what college football sold, the total sales. We don't know what Madden football sold in total sales, but yet they could tell us that this is the best-selling game, but we're not going to show you any numbers. Just trust me, bro. Just trust me. Amazing. It makes no sense. Show us the number. How are you getting your number? And if you have the number, just tell us the number. What is happening here? Another AI, everyone doing selfies with the celebrities. CoD, Madden 2K, and FIFA equals hotcakes. Exactly right. Exactly right. All I'm asking is if you're going to share the number, if you're going to tell us, like, again, I do this example all the time. I am the highest live show in the mornings, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning, right? Just trust me, bro. Don't look at the actual number down below. Don't look at my sub count. Don't look at anything like that. Just trust me. I'm the number one live stream talking about news story. You got to make very specific. News stories about current topics Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning. Right? There's no way. Right? Just trust me, bro. Just trust me. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we talking about? Right. In your ranch. From where I stand, I am the highest watched YouTube channel from where I stand. Right? You don't know where I am in the world exactly. I can stand here and not be, but right here, I am the best. I am the best. So stupid. Number one game of the month. Just trust me. Okay, sure. Warner Bros. Discovery Board says the terms of Netflix merge are superior, formally rejecting Paramount Skydance unsolicited $30 per share takeover bid. For Paramount's hostile offer to advance, it would need approval from both WB's board and shareholders, unless I can secure at least 90% of the outstanding WB shares. I love that people, we talked about this, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Paramount is pissed off because they're like, right? And they have a fiduciary obligation to like go with the shareholders and say, hey, this is what they offered us. And they said, no, we don't want that. And they're like, they can't take no for an answer, right? So obviously Netflix doesn't own them yet because it has to go through regulatories and stuff like that. But a company is allowed to negate an offer. I know a lot of us want to believe that money is king, and it is, right? But for whatever reason behind the scenes, whatever they're offering in the long term, Netflix's offer might be less than what Paramount is offering, but it doesn't align with the views of the people that are running the company over here that align with Netflix or aligns with Paramount. And they're allowed to accept or deny any offer they want. It's just very strange to me that they don't want to take, they're like, oh, something's got to be up. Now, maybe something is. But I just think it's funny that Paramount's like, no, we offered more money. They have to take our offer. It's like, no, there could be things that in the long run that they like better than what you're offering. Right? It's like if I give you $1 million today, right? Or I give you a penny a day for the rest of your life type of thing. You know what I mean? I don't even know if that's not the example. I forget what the example is. Is it $1 million? Or the compound interest that you get, like for the penny a day, you would make more money in the long term. Obviously, if you make it to your old age. But maybe it's better down the road for them, and that's why they're not taking the offer from Paramount. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Jacob says, Netflix buying WB is scary for WB Games. I mean, it's scary if Paramount buys them. Just because the news article said it didn't put any value into WB Games, well, guess what? WB Games wasn't having any value anyway. They have a franchise and what it is, but the last couple of games that WB Games made was terrible. Right? Gotham Knights didn't sell. I like Gotham Knights. That didn't sell. Multiverses, they fucked up big time. Right? Suicide Squad was an absolute bomb. Ashraf says, am I the only one in the world who's eating spaghetti and grilled vegetables right now? I mean, you could say you are. We can't check it, so. Quick, someone grab spaghetti. Alter was saying something earlier that he couldn't type. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I have nothing on that says to stop people from talking. Besides it, unless you're a subscriber for 5 minutes. That's it. What WB Games? The last hit they had was Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah. YouTube chat's being weird since last night. Justin Enough says, that combo I've never heard of before in my entire life. So yes. All right, chat. That's going to do it for me for today. I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out with us. We got a lot of new people in today, so make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can join our Discord. Absolutely free for everyone to join our Discord. If you are a member, you can link it to Discord, and more rooms open up for you for more specific topics and whatnot. You can also submit stories to me to perhaps maybe come on one of the shows in the morning and stuff like that I'll go over. Appreciate it very much. Like I said, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for some gameplay with Sarge called Shooting the Shit with Sarge, 8 p.m. tonight over on 30 and Still Gaming. If you don't watch tonight, we'll be back tomorrow morning for the daily grind, 10 o'clock in the morning. Appreciate it very much. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Have yourself a laggy little Christmas. Let your pink spikes be high. From now on, our matches will be jittery through every in-game sky.
Have yourself a laggy little Christmas. Make the rounds in festive cheer. Gather round with your online party, even if your squad disappears. Have yourself a laggy little Christmas. Check the loot boxes one by one. Try to catch the holiday skins before they vanish, even when the servers weigh a ton.
Through flashing lights and sparkling snow, our avatars glide and fight. But when the frames drop low and the chat freezes, we still laugh through the night.
Have yourself a laggy little Christmas and let your hotkeys click away. Even when your teammate glitches through the wall, we'll keep playing, come what may. Through every event, every winter quest, our latency is put to the test. Yet we dance in the snow, duel in the street, share remotes and holiday beats.
Have yourself a laggy little Christmas. Soon the servers might behave.
But until then we'll fight through the spikes and stutters, playing together, bold and brave. And as your ping rockets to the sky, just smile, respawn and try.
ba-dum.